Hey guys, and welcome to another video from CastCast. I'm your host, Casty Streeter, and today we obviously are looking at Browns Steelers. Obviously, the Browns getting smacked by the Saints last weekend, and then the Steelers beating the Ravens in a pretty sound manner. Obviously, no TDs. 6 field goals by their kicker, Boswell. It kind of reminds me of like the old Steelers Ravens games. Looking at this, I am inclined obviously to say the Steelers are going to win. Record wise, they have as many losses as the Browns have wins. You look at, the Browns, it's in Cleveland. Before the season started, I was thinking it, most people were thinking it, but the Steelers had a crazy hard schedule to finish the year. They've obviously won, quite a bit in a row now, with Russell Wilson under center. And the Browns, they got handled by the Chargers, the Saints, obviously, beating Baltimore a few weeks ago. Losing to Cincinnati, and then also, putting up a tough fight against, the Eagles, which seems like an age ago because everyone's talking about how good the Eagles are now. Thinking about the Steelers, the last 2 weeks they've obviously been in two notable teams, Baltimore and Washington. Washington looked like they could have definitely beat the Steelers. They barely lost, obviously. But looking at this game, obviously Russell Wilson was kind of under pressure a bit, against Baltimore. And I would say Cleveland still has a better pass rush. Obviously, it probably got weakened a little bit when they traded Zadarius Smith away. But you still have Myles Garrett, who's a perennial pass rusher, and it's not like Zadarius was, being crazy disruptive on the Browns. You have Jameis Winston, who threw for a crazy amount of yards. Jerry Jeudy having kind of, his best game as a Browns player. And then, you look at Pittsburgh and they weren't able to move it very well against, the Ravens, who many consider to have a pretty janky defense this year that has given up a lot of yards and is not the defense they were last year. But they obviously played well against the Steelers. This makes me think that while many would consider it mad, I think the Browns have a reasonable shot this game. Now, maybe the Steelers go ahead and they prove me wrong and show that, hey, our offense was just taking a break besides our kicker the last game. But I do really think that the Browns still have a very good defense. And, they just seem to be a team that, like, is obviously very off and on, more off than on. But it's not like they're completely devoid of talent. I think that if they can finally like utilize Chubb the way that they were utilizing him before the injury, or he's able to play that well, I think that that can also give them leverage. I'm trying to think of like the most competitive game I can see here, and it's a little hard if you guys can understand that. Because obviously the Steelers are more than likely going to win, even though it's a divisional game. But as we know, divisional games are, they've got this weird vibe to them that like only the two teams really understand it, and you can't put it into words. I think with all of that being said, I'm not going to really analyze it too much more. I think the Browns, obviously, they have Greg Newsome, they have Denzel Ward, they have good linebackers too. So I don't think Najee Harris is just going to be able to, run it at will, and Jalen Warren either. And because Russell Wilson is kind of immobile and, took a good number of sacks against the Ravens, I think that could be another element. And he threw a pick, last week against, supposedly bad pass defense that has been somewhat opportunistic from time to time. But I think the first pick of Russell Wilson in a game where you were in control of it, you were pretty much in control of it most of the game, winning the turnover battle as well, and still not being able to come away with a touchdown. Just makes me wonder if we're going to start to see the downward spiral of Russell Wilson. I know it's coming because a guy with an ego like his just can't possibly keep himself in check and keep on playing mistake-free. So I'm going to go with a score prediction for this game. I'm going to say Steelers win it. And I'm going to say... I'm actually going to say that they're going to win this game 20-16 in favor of Pittsburgh. I think that the tough kind of defenses, the gritty ones, that are well balanced and that sort of thing, I think those are the ones that are going to give the Steelers the most issues. So, like I said, looking at this game, the Browns, I feel like, they have no reason to play, but it's a divisional game, and this division, as far as I'm concerned, at face value, they are gritty and don't mind dirty games. Like the ones that, and it's like the only kind of exception to the rule in this division, I feel like, is maybe the Bengals at this point. But they're still willing to get kind of dirty and, play physical, ball in their own way. But, these other three teams, the Browns, the Steelers, the Ravens, gritty, dirty teams that are hard-nosed, old school teams that have adopted a little bit of the new age stuff, but down to their core, it is, roughneck football. So that's my prediction. And if you guys have any opinions or any thoughts, leave them down in the comments. I appreciate you for watching this video. If you did till the end here, leave a like. Even subscribe if you want weekly NFL content, mostly predictions, and that sort of thing. But as always, go Pack Go.